Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Dion's Daily Dose for Tuesday, October 2020. So I didn't have a video yesterday because I tried. Look, I got a camera, right? A dedicated camera, and I tried to hook it up, and it doesn't work. It is an issue with Windows or something. I plugged it in. It will not recognize the device. I looked online for drivers. I did all that stuff. Finally got in touch with the company who advised me to send it back. They say that it's most likely a defective product and they would give me a new one. So I did that. Hopefully it'll be here tomorrow. I've actually had it for a couple of days. I've been nervous to try it, to be honest, just because every single time I upgrade something on my computer or I change something, it quits working. And it's it's very frustrating, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully the new one will be here tomorrow. We'll plug it up, and fingers crossed it will work perfectly. Now, on to topic number 2. For those of you, you might recognize the sign. Here's what we did. We got a sticker that covers for Congress, and the new paid for by sticker. And this allows us to reuse the signs that we had for the primary. It doesn't look bad. I actually think it looks pretty good, all things considered, for a sticker. It ends up looking pretty darn good. We're going to utilize that. We have some signs now. The other ones are in production, so the new ones. But for those of you who would really like a sign, message me. We'll make sure you get that. We have a limited number. These are the ones from the congressional primary. And speaking of the congressional primary, did anyone see the debate for the 1st District that aired tonight on Lakeshore Public Radio? If you have not seen it, you should go check it out. Lakeshore NPR is the Facebook page that you can find it on. They have the video, and then it's also was on TV and the radio. I just want to say this. Personally, as someone who has every intention of voting Republican and who supports Mark Leyva, despite him beating me in the primary, he won fair and square. His name. I don't think this was his strongest showing. Mervan was unfortunately much stronger in this debate than Leyva or Strauss, in my opinion. A couple of really missed opportunities, in my opinion. Why did Leyva stop when he was talking about the funding that Mervan gets? Why did he stop? If you haven't seen it, there was a question where they were talking about gun control, right? And it was a softball question to Republican and Libertarian candidates. And it was hard for a Democrat candidate, right? Because it talks, I don't remember the exact format of the question, but essentially, how do you feel about gun control? And instead of taking the opportunity to say, shall not be infringed, neither of them did that. Leyva started with, Mervan is taking money from, and then he stopped himself. Why? Either he didn't know what he was about to say and thought better of it, or he forgot. I don't know. I legitimately don't know, because I'm like, yeah, say where he gets his money, which is, Moms Demand Gun Sense and all these pro-gun control groups. Say it. And I'm just like, he's like, no, I'm not even going to go there. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh my goodness. Dave says, oh my gosh, what a show. And it was. It really was. We had Strauss, who, look, is always entertaining to watch. Let's just say that he is always entertaining to watch. Even he, who, by the way, was in front of a 3%er flag, right? A wooden 3%er flag. Okay. What? Why did you not take that opportunity? You know, when lobbed to me, right? 4 words: shall not be infringed. Any other questions? Second Amendment, dude. Like, come on. And it just, both of them kind of rambled on and missed clear kill shots. Clear kill shots. Unfortunately, Leyva is not a strong debater. That's just evidenced by his performance tonight. And unfortunately, I don't blame Mark Leyva. I blame his campaign team, who did not prepare him for that debate. Regardless of how you feel about Frank Mervan's policies, the man was prepared. He was prepared for that debate. You can tell he did his homework, and he was ready. If you're going to represent me in Congress, you got to be willing to work. And part of being willing to work is prepping for debates. Oh, my God. My 14-year-old son, Donovan, some of you know him. You've seen him on my show before. He said, if I didn't know anything about these candidates and this debate was the only exposure I had to any of these candidates, Mervan would be getting my vote because he comes off as a much stronger candidate than the other two. And I'm like, holy cow, wow. He is unbiased because he doesn't know about the candidates. He doesn't know what Mervan or Leyva or Strauss stand for. He doesn't know any of that. He just watched the debate with an open mind, and he nailed it. He nailed it. Oh my goodness. It was embarrassing to watch. It really was. And again, I blame his team for not getting him ready for this debate. I'm going to show you a couple of things. Woo. Yes, indeed. I'm going to show you a couple of things real quick. First of all, for those of you that may not have seen this, my opponent and I were asked to respond to questions from the Chesterton Tribune. Where is it? Let me bring up another one because this one isn't showing up for some reason. So let's go to this. This should work. All right. I want to share with you what those answers were and see if what is going on here. Why is this not? I'm not sure why this is acting up. Anyway, let's see here. Okay, so this should be like this. Why are we doing this? Not that. Not that. This one? No. Okay, let's try this again. Screen icon. Okay. Well, anyway, for some reason it's not letting me share a screen right now, so I don't know what's going on. But thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. For those of you who have not seen it, I'll leave the link here. Dave says he thinks I did a great job on it. I was going to go through them with you, but for some reason my screen sharing doesn't seem to be working. I'm really hoping that I'm able to get this camera working. A second thing, I'm going to show you something if I can get it to work. Let's see. Did I scan it? I'm trying to find it. No, it's not there. So I was sent a request about basically a pledge that I would support the police and not defund them. And I tried to print it out so I could sign it. And once again, my printer has these issues with blue. Anytime I print something out, here, I can show you what I'm talking about on this because I printed out a test page for I got printer support on the phone. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. If you can see the red lines in there, it's kind of blurry. Hold on. See right here on the I and the O where it gets red instead of blue, even though it's printed in blue. That's what my printer does. So it only does it on solid blue background. So if I try to print like the Indiana flag or something with a solid blue like this, it'll have these red lines in it. I gotta say, I have to send out props to HP tech support. Normally, I'm not a huge fan of HP. I've had real issues with them in the past, but my printer keeps doing that. I called them. Now, granted, I was on the phone with them for a very long time, probably close to an hour. They had me do this and that, and I remember I had already done the cleaning the print heads multiple times before, which hadn't fixed it. Basically, they told me that my current printer, the print heads are not a removable, replaceable item, that it's part of the printer. And the research department was actually trying to figure out if this was a good idea or a bad idea. Well, I can tell you that it's a bad idea. It's a horrible idea, because now the entire printer needs to be replaced because the print heads are not working right. That said, because I am a member of HP Instant Ink, which is where you get to print so much and they'll automatically send you new ink when they think you're going to run out. Because I'm a member of that, I'm actually getting a new printer, even though mine is out of warranty. Barely, I might add, barely out of warranty. So hopefully within a week, I can print out all my nifty campaign material myself instead of paying other people to print it, like Office Max, Depot, Staples, whatever. Now, that said, for those of you who have not read the questions that were asked and answered, I'm going to point you to one particular sentence. I got to find it real quick. It is a claim. Here it is. Okay. So question number 4, differentiate yourself from your opponent and indicate in particular why you believe yourself to be the better candidate. Now, my opponent said, quote, I have never met my opponent nor heard anything from or about him. Now, I would like to point out to all of you that are watching either one of two scenarios. Either A, she's lying, or B, she forgot. Because I did meet her myself, my wife, part of my campaign, 2 members of my campaign team, after the St. Patrick's Day parade in Michigan City. They introduced me to her as the Republican candidate for Congress for the 1st District for Pete Visclosky's seat. Now, my wife even had a discussion with her right there, right then. So, one of two scenarios. Now, I know it is the world to minimize your opponent, right? To make them seem less of what they are. Here's my point. If she can't remember someone that won their county in an election for Congress, what are the chances of her actually remembering a regular constituent that doesn't run for office? Think about that for a moment. Realistically, seriously, that's a legitimate question. If she can't remember me, who has a very, very strong social media presence, has, again, won my county, and I'm not saying this because I'm cool, because I'm not. These are facts. Has a strong social media presence, won my county. She hasn't answered any requests for a debate, Dave. Good question. Interestingly enough, I find that the League of Women Voters, who ordinarily makes these happen, I actually had to chase them down to even get on Vote 411, which I'm working on right now as soon as I end this video, finishing up my answers to them. And they normally host these debates, right? There have not been any debates mentioned or scheduled. She also sent a mailer out saying that she also won't be going door to door. Now, the funny thing is she doesn't anyway. Everyone that I've talked to said they've never seen her go door to door. So all this does is give her an excuse to not do it. But, because of COVID. Anyway, like I've remarked in the past, social distancing, not back up, right? It's really not hard. And if masks work, why can't you wear a mask? Anyway, I just find it interesting. Like I said, I know that it is typical to minimize your opponent's reach, and I get that, but don't blatantly lie, right? Don't blatantly lie because it's so easy to fact check. We met. It's not like I even met her online. I met her in person at the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Michigan City. 8th Street? 6th Street? One of the numbered streets. I want to say like 6th Street. It was what?
10th Street by the Fox statue.
Okay. Wife says 10th Street by the Fox statue. She knows. I knew it was one of the numbered streets, but I wasn't sure which one. So, again, I appreciate everybody coming out. If you have not seen the first district debate, you really, really should. Wow. It was something else. It definitely was something else. Now my video tonight was a little later, obviously, because I wanted to finish that debate, eat dinner, and then get everything prepared for you. If you need a sign one more time, I think overall I was kind of concerned about it cutting the bottom of the off, but I think overall it calls attention up here where it should be. And I think it looks pretty good. So let me know. And you know what? You're absolutely right, Dave. Hillary didn't take Trump seriously either. And here's the thing, right? This is what I want to share with you. There is someone who is well listened to in the Democrat community who is openly saying that my opponent has not done anything in her time there and vote all incumbents out, including her. So this is going to be an interesting election, no matter what. Now, of course, they're a Democrat, so they hate Trump, but it should be interesting nonetheless. I think we are going to see. I think we're going to see some very interesting numbers. Another interesting note is for those people that are keep pointing to these polls that Biden is going to win. Biden's going to win because the polls say so. They did another poll where they asked people, if you were to vote for Trump, would you tell the truth about it? 77% of people who are planning to vote for Trump are lying about it and saying that they're not, both publicly, to their friends, to their family. 77% of Trump voters are not public about their vote for Trump. What does that tell you? Ladies and gentlemen, 4 more years. That's what it tells me. Regardless of how you feel about him, though, regardless of how you feel about Trump 2020 or the Bergeron family supporting Trump, I really like that sign. I'm really frustrated that it's only one side. If it was both sides, I had every intention of putting it in my yard, but it's only one side, so here it is. Unfortunately, that's what we got. So I appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me. Watch the debate if you haven't. And seriously, if you're serious about flipping first district, reach out to the Leyva team and tell them you're gonna have to do a better job on prepping your candidate. I think he's a good person. That's the thing. My brother-in-law has said he's a good person. Some very liberal friends of mine have said he's a good person. He just is not a strong debater, unfortunately. So hopefully my new camera comes in and works. Again, thank you, Jack. Jack's the one who pointed me to this camera. Hopefully it comes in and it works, and I will be on that camera. In which case, I'm going to try to get a different. I'm going to try for a different location on it so that maybe I can look at the screen rather than off to the side. I think that'll help. But because right now I'm looking at my computer screen right now, which looks like I'm not looking at you, right? The camera's here, my screen's here, so it makes it difficult. I'm going to try to play with that, see if I can't get that a little better, at least maybe look up into the screen, but we'll see. I got to wait for the camera to get here, and keep your fingers crossed. I hope it works. So thank you for joining me. Yeah, that's what it is. Jack says I'm just not geeky enough. And I lost my geeky, man. What can I say? I am too old to be a certified geek anymore. That's just all there is to it. I used to know my way around these computers. I used to be able to come up with a driver in minutes. There's no driver. I went searching. I even called the company. They said there is no driver. They don't make a driver. It's plug and play, so it should work. It's embarrassing. Thank you very much. I will talk to you all soon. Remember, November 3rd, we can make District 9 better with Bergeron. Thank you for joining me. God bless you. God bless Indiana. And God bless the United States of America.